Evening everybody and welcome to my channel. In the continuously creating crypto world, a great deal of new organizations have been mushrooming all through the long haul, which have been thriving to spread out affirmation in the business. Among a store of electronic money related structures, DigiByte is one such rapidly creating open source blockchain project, which hopes to deal with the ongoing imperfections in the rivals. With the market being stuck, sponsors have been surveying different crypto assets for adventure open entryways, examining whether DigiByte's DGB can be an ideal buy for what's to come. Look no further as this audit will address the possible expense estimates for 2022 and the years to come. DigiByte, DGB Price Prediction for 2022. DigiByte had progressed into 2022 with a starting expense of $0.03412. Getting in the downtrend, the expense slid down to $0.0206 by the 21st of January amidst a market-wide sale, resulting to going sideways until the 4th of February. The worth moved to $0.028 by the 10th of February. Regardless, alert and FUD slithering into the market inferable from stressed characteristics all around the planet, achieved a downswing to $0.01721. The 27th of March was an earth-shattering day for DGB as it portrayed a 76.97% single-day spike. From that point on, a pullback shut the quarter at $0.034. The starting to the ensuing quarter has been coarse for DigiByte. The altcoin has dropped to its assistance at $0.01375 from the apexes of the start of the month, accepting its searches for main thrust from a development in buyers count. The expense of DGB could raise to $0.0205 toward June's end. Going against the standard, the expense could tumble down to $0.0108. Logically, a harmony in return activities could limit the expense to $0.0169. The focal traits of the endeavor, like faster trades, security, and the level of decentralization, could help DGB with ascending to its reasonable high of $0.03259. In reality, expecting the bears outperform the bulls, the expense could slam into $0.0193. Taking everything into account, constrained by direct expense movement, the standard expense could land at $0.0269. The critical properties of the endeavor, like faster trades, security, and the level of decentralization, could help DGB with moving to its normal high of $0.03259. Conflicting with the standard, if the bears beat the bulls, the expense could crash into $0.0193. Taking everything into account, constrained by direct expense movement, the conventional expense could land at $0.0269. What is DigiByte? DigiByte, DGB, crypto is an open source blockchain and asset creation stage. The endeavor headway began in October 2013. The stage intended to go facing huge cryptographic types of cash, for instance, XRP and Litecoin, by zeroing in on web-based assurance and versatility. The stage processes additional components allowing specialists to give assets, present applications and utilize progressed characters. DigiByte has its own nearby token DGB. The token is used to pay costs to individuals who help with working the association. DGB moreover hopes to offer portions and fuel its blended arrangements. Essential analysis. DigiByte is an open source blockchain and asset creation stage. It is an advanced cash project that bright lights on decentralization, security, and even more basically, accelerated to cultivate electronic assets that can't be demolished. This cash can be mined, bought, and set aside in wallets. DigiByte is a modification of Bitcoin which has 3 layers. To be explicit, a sagacious agreement application store, a freely available report, and the middle show which components passing center points on to repeat the trades. DigiByte was laid out by Jared Tate, conspicuously known as the Digiman, who managed its presence from progress to its continuous course of action. DigiByte, it could get the clients and monetary benefactors' eye, expecting it wins to build up the security and trade speeds. Around the completion of 2022, DigiByte's most prominent expense is supposed to be $0.045. On the opposite side, the expense could find help at 3 cents. Noteworthy market sentiments. 2014-16 DigiByte entered the market on 6 February 2014 with an underlying expense of $0.001232. The worth started to change as DGB began its trade and continued to be consistent for quite a while until 2017 with explicit expense contrasts. 2017. The worth saved on extra stable with lesser differences until the end of May. Because of the minor updates in the worth, DigiByte reliably started to flood. The expense came to $0.017 around the completion of May. Subsequently, the expense unequivocally poured to $0.056 by the start of June. Further, the worth dropped to $0.019 close to the completion of June. DigiByte sorted out some way to be in the stream as it traded at $0.017, close to the completion of July. Later on, the worth continued to be at comparable level with lesser changes for a significant time allotment. Amazingly, the expense came to $0.008 in the mid of November and further started to flood reliably. Close to the completion of 2017, DigiByte was traded at $0.005. 2018. On a bullish note, DigiByte entered the year 2018 with a spike. It was trading at 12 cents close to the start of January. Later on, the expense started plunging to reach 4 cents close to the completion of January. The worth sorted out some way to trade at a comparable level until the end of March. Further, the worth sank to $0.017 close to the start of April and later overflowed to 5 cents by early May. The expense profoundly tumbled to 2 cents close to the completion of June and overwhelmed to 4 cents toward July's end. Later on, the worth started to plunge until the end of December. Around the completion of 2018, DigiByte traded at $0.010. 2019. As the bears hauled the market, DigiByte began the year 2019 with its expense of $0.010. In addition, further, the expense swayed for an impressive time frame. The expense hit $0.016 by early June and further plunged to $0.008 toward August's end. Later on, DigiByte continued to be in a comparative expense range with less instabilities until December. The expense appeared at $0.006 by mid-December. Close to the completion of 2019, DigiByte was trading at $0.005. 2020 DigiByte began the year 2020 with a comparative expense of 5 cents, which was around the completion of 2019. DigiByte was trading the arrive at some place in the scope of $0.005 and $0.008, with minor instabilities until the end of April. Later on, the worth moved to hit 2 cents by the really multi-day stretch of May. The worth started to plunge further for a seriously significant time frame. Later on, the worth spiked to 3 cents by the mid of August and further started to change. The value stayed aware of the extent of 2 cents until the mid of November. The coin continued to make do at 2 cents as the advancement of Bitcoin cost assembled around the completion of November. The money remained stable with lesser changes. Around the completion of 2020, DigiByte traded at $0.024. 2021. The New Year's new trade began with a retail cost of $0.025 and made a decent endeavor to stay aware of the rise. By the mid of February 2021, the expense rose as high as $0.0808, once more tumbled down to $0.0517. Regardless, the expense meant its unbeatable high on May initial 2021 at $0.1781. In light of the market breakdown on May 19, the DGB esteem dumped to $0.03651 on the 21st of July 2021. Starting their DGB cost with focus on climb, squashed $0.0987 on August 22. Financial aggravation rising up out of the Chinese market impacted the DGB cost.